Hello YouTubers, welcome to a new video. I'm sorry last week's one ended a bit abruptly, but when we do footage on a Saturday I don't have a lot of time to edit stuff for Sunday. So this week we don't have a lot of car work to do, we're just waiting for deliveries and stuff to come. We've got the supports to fit still in the car, the finish of that, and some bits and pieces. As we count down now for Purdey's pre-inspection next week in Burgundy. In the meantime, there's lots of paperwork to do, which is really boring to watch on a video. We've got a packing list to do, we've got to sort out paperwork for our visas, make sure that we've checked all the regulations, and I need to keep getting fit. So I'm going to carry on with that, and I'll see you at the end of the video. So the Iritrack support has all been painted black so that it doesn't reflect on the windscreen, and is now being fitted in place. And the last thing to do for these two supports is to put power feeds in, but we're just waiting for wire on those. So our deliveries keep coming. Now, I know what's in this box. Our safety is always paramount on these kind of events because we never know exactly what's going to happen. And that means that we have to carry lots of things with us in the car. And one of them is, rather understandably, a first aid kit. But obviously this is an FIA controlled event, which means that the first aid kit has to be FIA certified as well. So in this box, we hope, should be an FIA first aid kit, which, to be honest, is really much the same as any other first aid kit. It's just got an FIA certification on it. So let's see if we can get into the box. Probably should have opened this a little bit more before we started recording. Certainly didn't want it to fall out, did they? So, there we go. One FIA first aid kit. We've had some deliveries today, so inside these packages should be the boxes that are going to contain our spares and any tools and stuff that we need to take to Dakar. Now these are a specific size because they have to fit into the storage system in Julien's trucks. Let's see what we've got. It doesn't look this is an unboxing of a box, which is a bit weird, but anyway. Lots of cardboard. And it's Land Rover green. I really wanted red, but they were more expensive, so we figured that green ones would be fine. So these are actually ex-army. Come from the army surplus store. It doesn't look very big, does it? But it is business size, 80 centimetre box. I think it's 120 litres. So we've got two like this to get all of our spares in. I thought I'd pop on and do a little bit about sleeping arrangements at Dakar. Now, I think I've mentioned on videos before, I don't do sleeping very well. So we'll be camping, and what we've decided to do this time is get camp beds so that we're not right on the floor. It also gives us space underneath to put our stuff. So we've got the camp bed. I've got this amazing little pillow from Axion. You probably don't have that in the UK. It's like, I don't know, B&M Bargains or something like that. So this is a memory foam pillow, rolls up into this little bag and opens out. It's not very big, but when it sort of sort itself out. It's actually quite comfy. So we've got a pillow. Now, other people I know have sleeping bags, but I don't like a sleeping bag, and I've worked out from previous camping experiences that trying to make the sleeping experience as close to what it is at home is the best thing. And I kind of sleep with one leg bent, so there's never enough room in a sleeping bag. So what I've done is I've actually taken a double sleeping bag, cut it in half, made a duvet cover for it. So this, I've used this several times now on Santana at the Land Rover show and on previous rallies. So there we go. I've got my duvet. Imagine I'm in my tent. And we're all ready for a cosy night, hopefully. Now, the other thing I will say is that I'm probably not just going to have this duvet because I like to have a bit of weight on my feet. So I'll probably have something else over my feet. But this arrangement gives me room to move about, to have that leg out, to have that leg out, you know, to move around in the night, not be on the floor, and be quite cosy, and then be ready for the next day. I need to keep driving Purdey, especially since we've changed the suspension and various other parts, just to make sure that everything's where it should be, that everything's tight, and that she's performing as she should. So we thought that what we should do is take some little tracks and go to the quarry that we've used before for training to see if we can get some axle articulation going and have a go over a few obstacles. She rides those bumps so well. Something that we've never really shown on the video, but you saw us fitting, was the diff lock. So the switch down here where you can see the little light means that the diff lock is armed, and if you remember, the switch up here, is what puts the diff lock on. So if Chris flicks that now, that diff lock has just engaged, and that is how easy it is with the Navtech vacuum diff lock. It's just life-changing, honestly, to flick on and off rather than having to move this lever. That was a good little run for Purdey. We have to keep doing test runs. We'll check now and see if there's anything that's come loose, because we've been down some pretty bumpy tracks. So this is the end of this week's video. Next week, as I believe I said before, we're off to Burgundy with Purdey, who's going to need a wash before then, for her inspection for her FIA certificate with Andre, who's one of the Dakar Classic scrutineers. It's also an opportunity for Felix to actually meet Julien and the rest of the SSP team. So until next week, when you'll come with us on that journey, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.